something just changed. Alex Pereira broke his silence and went straight at Magomed Ankalaev. He exposed the fake respect and said, "Everything will show when they lock the cage at UFC 320. This isn't just another fight anymore, it's personal." But here's what nobody's asking. Can words win fights, or does only the octagon matter? Everyone keeps saying Ankalaev destroyed Pereira the first time, but wait, that's not what actually happened. Adam Catterall rewatched everything and found the truth. He showed exactly where Pereira did way better than people remember. He also revealed what Pereira needs to fix this time to get his belt back.
The first fight it was typical Ankalaev, very technical, took his time, did what he needed to do to get the fight over the line. I thought the fight was a lot closer at the time than everyone's memory seems to serve them right now. You know, I've seen a lot of previews this week. People saying, "Oh, Ankalaev won, convincingly 6 months ago. What can Alex Pereira do?" I remember being frustrated by Alex Pereira's seemingly lack of ambition. He looked a little bit shot shy, very shot shy 6 months ago. But I also think that he won the first round and the fifth round. And the third round was close. So I don't think it was as one-sided as people may be retelling it now. But still, I had no complaints on the night and no overly complaints that Ankalaev had won. But it was Ankalaev's type of fight. And to turn it around, quite simply, Alex Pereira has to do Alex Pereira's type of fight, and I think he could have real...
Boxing legend Teddy Atlas studied how Ankalaev fought last time and broke down his smart game plan. He explained how Ankalaev pushed Pereira back without rushing, threw off his timing, and stopped him from landing counters. Atlas said Ankalaev needs to do the exact same thing again. Keep the pressure tight, move with purpose, and make zero mistakes.
He backed him up with slow, cautious, proper aggression. Backing him up, keeping him off, keeping him a little off balance, keeping him defensive, but never giving him anything to counter. He did it, and he's a southpaw, Ankalaev. He did it in a very deliberate, smart, buttoned-up, technical way. He's got to do it again. There's no room for mistakes with Pereira. I might throw a wrinkle in here if I was Ankalaev's team and say throw a feint in once in a while. Throw a feint in once in a while. But he will have to do the same thing. He won. If he does the same thing, I think he wins again. Here's where Pereira...
But Teddy Atlas didn't stop there. He also explained what Pereira must change to win. Atlas said Pereira can't just throw that big left hook anymore. Against a southpaw like Ankalaev, the right hand is what matters. But there's a catch. Pereira has to use his jab first. He doesn't jab enough. If he sets up his range with the jab, that right hand becomes dangerous enough to end everything.
He's got to use his jab more. He didn't use his jab. He's got to use his jab more. It's a great jab. It's long, it's hard. And being that he's fighting a southpaw, I think he's going to have to go to work and not depend on the left hook. It ain't there. If it ain't there, this guy ain't reaching. So I don't know if it's going to be there. So you got to go to really what I always labeled as the southpaw killer. Go to the right hand. I know we know him as the left hook, but he can punch with either hand. Go to the right hand. Use the jab more. Set up the right hand. Look for that.
Right after Adam proved the first fight was closer than we thought, the conversation got weird. Why did the UFC give an instant rematch? They never do this. Boxing does it all the time, but the UFC saves it for big moments. Nick Pete explained why this fight earned it and dropped some numbers about how many fighters actually win their belt back in a rematch.
Do you want some stats?
Go ahead.
Immediate rematches, because we've got one. And they are few and far between. I mean, we do get them quite a lot, don't we, in the world of boxing because of daft rematch clauses and all that. But in the world of UFC and martial arts, they are warranted. They're not here because of rematch clauses. They're because we've had a long-standing champion or we've had a very close fight, those types of things. The way that we should get immediate rematches when it comes to title fights. And we've got another one here. So, immediate rematches. Now, when I say immediate rematches, I mean for both fighters, not someone that's taken an interim in between, right? Yeah. Only 4 champions have lost the UFC title and won it back in the very next fight against the same opponent that they lost it to.
After Nick showed how rare instant rematches are, everyone started wondering, does Pereira actually have a chance? History says no. Most fighters don't win back their title right away, but Adam Catterall said something smart. He admitted the stats look bad for Pereira, but the adjustments Pereira makes might matter way more than any number when the fight starts.
Going into this fight this weekend.
I get it, but I remember 6 months ago, that was Magomed Ankalaev doing Magomed Ankalaev. He was allowed to do it because Poatan, for me, his tactics were all wrong, certainly in the middle of the fight. Whereas I look at that fight and I'm like, who can massively improve on the first fight? And this is not to say that Ankalaev was only fighting in fourth gear. Maybe his counter-argument would be, well, I did enough to win. That's all that matters. But Pereira did so little in 2, 3, and 4. His output was so small. Even though I think in round 3, go back and watch it. I hate you to go back and watch it. I did. In round 3, he lands the most significant combination of the fight.
Michael Bisping watched the first fight again and said something was off. Pereira didn't fight like Pereira. He backed up the whole time, let Ankalaev run the show, and that's why he lost. Bisping said Pereira looked nothing like the guy who knocked everyone out before.
It seems to me like Alex Pereira is a little bit nervous coming into this one. Of course, it is a rematch, and in the first one, Magomed Ankalaev dominated the fight. He did. In my opinion, Alex Pereira didn't do much. He didn't show up. He didn't bite down on the mouthpiece, and he allowed the title and the fight and the victory to slip away. Magomed Ankalaev landed the bigger shots, that's without a doubt. There was a couple of times where he landed a couple of big shots and Pereira was kind of saved by the fence. If it wasn't for the fence, he would have went down. He was backed up against the fence. He was controlled against the fence. He was taken down a little bit. He was controlled a little bit.
Then, Bisping asked the real question, what happened to Pereira? He brought up how Pereira fought non-stop, traveled everywhere, and never rested. That schedule made him famous, but maybe it also broke him down. Bisping wondered if Pereira took Ankalaev too lightly, or if he finally faced someone who matched him everywhere.
But the reality was that Alex Pereira didn't really show up. It was certainly a different person than what we saw when he took out the likes of Jamal Hill and when he beat down Khalil Roundtree and when he had that incredible performance over Yuri Prohaska. When he fought Magomed Ankalaev, he was a little flat. He was a little tentative. Now, why was that? Was it because of the schedule? Was it because he was fighting every few months, which is incredible, which is how he built his brand, which is how he became one of the biggest stars in the organization and no doubt has made a tremendous amount of money along the way. And then on top of that, you factor in the fact he was flying all over the world. Remember, he was in Australia a few weeks before the fight. I talked about it. DC talked about it. Everyone was like, hold on.
Bisping kept going. He reminded us that Pereira admitted he wasn't ready that night. Pereira said this time will be different and promised to make it look easy. But Bisping warned, if Pereira doesn't dominate, everyone will demand a trilogy. These two have been building beef forever, and the only way to settle it is in the cage.
Pereira is literally everywhere, flying all over the world. Maybe he was taking Magomed Ankalaev a little easy. Or was it a case of that he was finally fighting someone that he can't physically dominate, someone that is his size, someone that's as strong or if not stronger, someone that can take his shots, someone that can land back and actually hurt Alex Pereira and make him think twice about attacking. Okay, we don't know. We don't know. What we do know is that Pereira said, listen, I was flat. That wasn't me. I didn't really show up. And this time, I'm going to make it look easy. And then after I'm done with you, we are never going to fight again. Okay? That seems like a weird one to me. Unless Pereira goes out there and absolutely smokes him. I talked about this recently. They've got to do a rubber match. Now, you might have seen this week, though.
While everyone debated the first fight, Alex Pereira decided to talk. He fired back at Magomed Ankalaev and called him out. Pereira said Ankalaev talks too much and bends the truth. He also said 7 months passed since that fight and he used every day to get better and fix what went wrong.
The strong points about Alex is he's honest. He always say what he thinks.
Yeah.
Ankalaev is the other way. He got to make stuff up. He got to say that he's honest. He's not being sincere with himself, right? And right now it's been 7 months since the other fight. And Alex, like, he can defend takedowns. He got better from the last fight. And if he even get takedown, it's fine. It's part of the game. But he's been showing his evolution. He's been training hard.
Right.
Then Pereira talked about his preparation. He said his opponent got distracted, but Pereira stayed focused. He did a full training camp in the US.
The entries and Pereira was stubborn, did not let him take him down, did a really good job defensively wrestling and not even getting, I don't think he got taken down, just being fucking stubborn on the takedowns. And he did a really good job. Striking was very close. Ankalaev throws those beautiful shots to the body. He was landing some beautiful shots to the body, some twos to the old fucking tits. It's like, you can't, you have to respect Alex Pereira's power, but you also have to be able to fucking willing to get in there and trade. And that's what Ankalaev did. He cracked him good a few times. He almost dropped him at the end of the second, I believe. Then Pereira had a better third, and that was a close fight. I'm kind of leaning towards Ankalaev, but it's hard. Again, it's hard to count someone out that can knock someone out with one fucking punch. So I'm gonna go with Ankalaev. Who you got, man?
I'm gonna go Pereira.
All right, for sure.
For sure, dude.
Whew! I fucked up. I wore sandals to Vegas on accident because we were gonna fly. And I was cleaning out my Tesla because I was going to go trade.
Stayed off social media, avoided distractions, and worked harder than ever. All that focus made him feel stronger, faster, and ready for whatever comes at UFC 320.
I want to take any credit away from him. He maybe had his own stuff going on, so that's not something that we want to talk about too much. But, you know, I can compare it to how I feel now. And, you know, I had a great training camp, stayed in the U.S., focused and no more trips, and yeah, I can compare it to this fight and I feel amazing.
Craig said Pereira might handle some bigger guys.
I think he retires or he goes to heavyweight.
So there was that talk?
There was a lot of talk about him going to heavyweight, but like Adam said, I feel like if he's lost twice in 2 title fights against the same guy, he can only beat other contenders who he's basically already beat. There's not a lot of other, maybe. Well, he beat Yuri Prohaska twice, didn't he? Yeah. So there's not a lot of guys. Jamal Hill he beat, Khalil Roundtree beat. A lot of the top contenders he's already beat him. So what's he going to do? Just do rematches against guys he's already beat. So 38 years old, he might as well, in my opinion.
But the power and speed at those weights could be a real problem, and his striking might not work against heavier, stronger punchers.
Might as well.
I felt he was an oversized middleweight. He was big compared to all other middleweights. I think as a light heavyweight, I think he's just sized right. So as he's moving up with the bigger boys again, I believe it might just be a wee bit too much for him, and I don't think that power will transfer well. We're already seeing it's not transferred great up against guys like Ankalaev, right? He's had a few knockouts, but as he goes up the higher weights, these guys hit hard and they're looking to slug, whereas I don't think he's in that. He's not wanting that.
UFC 320 is here, and everyone's watching Alex Pereira versus Magomed Ankalaev. Both fighters changed and improved since their first fight. Pereira comes in stronger, sharper, and more confident, while Ankalaev stays skilled and dangerous. This rematch tests more than just their skills. It's about mental toughness and fight IQ in the cage. Every round can flip the momentum, and nothing is guaranteed. Fans should expect a battle where both fighters give everything, and the outcome could go either way. Who walks out with the belt at UFC 320? Pereira with his new plan, or Ankalaev with his proven game? Drop your pick in the comments. Poatan.